Hey, David Wygant, 10 minutes of daily reality check. My reality sucks. Wow. Did I get your attention? I hope so, because I'm not going to use a word because there are people in the middle of the country who don't like it, but I am blank, blank sick of this. Just sick of the last 2 months, Ken. I got Ken the Scientist from C60purplepower.com. You will write that down right now. Do me a favor, okay? Get a pen. You're going to need a pen because we're going to give you some good stuff. C60purplepower.com is one of the best antioxidants out there imaginable. It does fantastic things. We'll tell you all about that. There's a discount code called YGANT10. You've heard me talk about it a lot. So if you haven't bought it yet, well, that's your problem because you obviously don't want to be healthy. I'm not going to guilt you into it. So Ken, I have just a couple of things, okay? One, I will be free to live anywhere starting in 2 months because my ex will be moving back to where she is from, and there are things called airplanes, right, where I can go see my daughter often, right? Is there things called airplanes? I'm not quite sure. But supposedly there are things called airplanes. They have these wings and you know, they take you up in the air. And I am now, I have a contest, okay? For the person who can give me the best place to live and I move there, you happen to either live there or not, I will give you 1 month free of coaching, which is a $2,500 value. Plus, Ken will probably throw in a bottle of C62 to help you out. So I want to hear from all of you to tell me, where should I live? What's cool? What's great? I know Ken says, come to Denver, you know, because I love Denver already. My ex is going to Louisiana, so if you want to be close enough that I could drive, you know, but Colorado's not that far of a flight. So anyway, Ken, let's talk. I'm tired of seeing people with full-blown ET-like masks in supermarkets. I want to scream at the people who are driving their cars with masks and gloves. Who's in there with you? Nobody. And now I read a beautiful heartfelt message from American Airlines, dear customer. In response to when we get back up and rolling again, we will be having each person wear a mask on the entire plane ride. That must be great, so then I don't have to smell you eating McDonald's next to me because you won't be able to take your mask off. And you won't have food on there. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing, Ken?
Well, I don't know. Maybe American Airlines will give away a free small bottle of hand sanitizer too, just to make it an excellent deal. I don't know. We're in, it's kind of like a mind control lockdown, you know, just the fear out there. People are full of fear. It's, you know, it's, what can I say? It's a fear, and they watch it on night. Look at the nightly news. Every time you see, I don't watch the news, I don't own television, but if you go, you know, have a friend's house or something, you know, you turn on the news, it's nothing but Coronaville, you know, and fear, fear, fear. Oh, you're all going to die. And, you know, and I see it out there in the streets, like people driving their masks in their car with the windows up, right? What?
It's just crazy with the windows up. It's like, and then people going outside and with their masks on because it's supposedly airborne. Let me tell you, if it was airborne, we'd all have it already. The immunes will be built up and it would be over. That's the beauty of it. If it was airborne, if it was flying, like I almost think like, I look up, you remember the Superman? It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Corona Man, you know, and there's this little germ with the letter C written across its chest, and it comes flying down, and it spits Corona vapor all over you as you're walking down the street, and you now have it. It's just...
Weren't you sick back in December when when it actually came through LA? They've done the testing now, and something like 10% of the city has already been exposed. You know, has already had it. And so, you know, you might be able to get one of those cards that says, I am a Corona antibody guy. And then you can go anywhere you want.
I know it would be great. It would be wonderful to be able to go anywhere that we want.
Because you
Anywhere
got
that
to
we
forget,
want again.
or you can get Bill Gates's little vaccine with nano identifying REF test.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Yeah.
So they can
So yeah,
so they can know where they are. Know where we are at all times. I
that's
mean,
right. I mean,
why not, right? Why
yeah.
not
I
have?
mean, Elon wants to.
Yeah, I don't know, Ken. I think it's crazy. What are people like? It's funny. I went by this guy the other day, and he moved out of the way, and I looked at him like, I'm not afraid of you. I said, I'm not afraid of who you breathed around. I'm not afraid of you. It's, I know people listening right now are going, oh my God, no, no. And this is what we've talked about over and over again. This is going to screw society for a long amount of time. People are going to make excuses, be paranoid. I don't want to go to the gym because if I go to the gym and I have to touch something at the gym, I might get coronavirus. Man, I don't want to fly. Restaurants are going to reopen, but you have to be 6 feet away from the other table. It's like, why don't we just put every restaurant out of business? Because that's about what you're going to do. Because restaurants have high
Oh, don't forget
overhead.
the barbershop. Yeah,
I forgot about it. We're going to put everything.
barbershops.
What is
Yeah, barbershops, beauty parlors. Think of all the little businesses out there, bookstores, like everything out there where there's any sort of independence, or some guy took his life, he's made a business, he's worked on it for years, right? He's built it up, and now poof, it's all gone. And because some guy had these crazy predictions, which in the end, well, we're gonna know at the end what actually happened. But yeah. But hindsight's always good when you have your head up your ass. So
Yeah, it is. It's always great when you have your head up your ass. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And I always ask people, what's the lesson you learned from this? How are you going to make
oh,
changes in your life? How did you grow from this? And it's like I've almost run out of things to talk about because I don't do anything anymore. It's almost like, and it's amazing. People actually can live like this on a regular basis. They don't really see people. They don't have much of a social life, right? They watch Netflix. I mean, I have no interest in watching or binge watching television shows. It doesn't captivate me. It doesn't turn me on mentally. Sitting on my ass on a couch or in bed doesn't do anything for me. I feel like if I'm not let out of prison soon and the stores don't open up and the places don't open up, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself because that's who I am as a person. And it's given me, Ken, the opportunity to live like so many people who sit around and do nothing. And I think to myself, how do you do that? How do you not get on an airplane? How do you not go for a hike? How do you not go and exercise? How do you not go and sit at a cafe? How do you not go and go get a massage? How do you not go and do any of these things? It's just, it's fascinating. I mean, people are like, hey, did you see this show? Did you see this show? No, I barely watch television. What about you?
well, yeah, I don't even own a television, but and it's actually the very worst thing to do. It's like the reason people get sick in the wintertime is because they're inside. They're not outside getting sunlight, which generates vitamin D. And when I became a first-year teacher, they sat me down, and one of the first things they did is they handed me, this was decades ago, handed me like a bottle of vitamin D, and says, when you're when you're teaching, you need to take this because then they gave you the whole thing that I just told you. And so people need to get off their asses outside into the sunlight, and you need like 30 minutes of sunlight a day every day, and that'll get you your vitamin D, which will make your immune system work so much better. And of course, there's vitamin C and good exercise. Come on, it's ridiculous. The whole thing of what people are doing are just making it worse, and then they're worried about getting it, but by what they're doing is actually going to increase the probability significantly of them getting it in the first place. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and there's also mental exercise too. And that's what I think the problem right now is that we're getting such mental stimulation that is so negative. Open up the city too early. Don't do this right now. Death rate is, I mean, it's like, it's like rapid fire negativity. And it starts to wear people down. And I think that's a really big issue. It's like they're getting worn down day in and day out, worn down day in
Yeah.
and day out, beaten up mentally, beaten up emotionally. There's, divorce rates. I mean, I don't know. Did I send you that, or did you send me that funny thing about the line at the divorce court once courts are open, right? I
Yeah. Once courts are open. Yeah.
mean, you're in lockdown with somebody, and every issue of the relationship has come up 100 times already. There's a lot of. It's going to be really interesting, but the paranoia. Look, I respect people's wishes. I respect that people want to wear masks. I respect all this stuff, but it depresses me. I go to the
Well, you
farmers
know what it
market.
is?
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yes. You know what it is? It's just a fear porn orgy. That's what it is. They turn it on at night and they get themselves all worked up. It's just fear porn here and fear porn there, fear porn everywhere. I mean, give me a break. It's just getting to be, but you have a choice. You have a little button. You can just press that button, turn it off, or even then throw it in the trash. That would be a better thing. And then you can get up, you can open your door and you can walk outside and you can, breathe the air and look at the birds and the sky and the sun. I mean, it's your choice.
I love that. And the song goes in fear porn, fear porn, everywhere, fear porn, right? It's like old McDonald's. It is choices. And I think people are going to make choices. And I think it's just going to impact. To me, I liked the way things were. I like getting on an airplane. I like going to a hotel. I just, this is definitely, my girlfriend said it to me that day, this has not been easy for me. Because all my coping devices have been taken away from me. I would get a massage once a week. I would go get a foot massage because it was, $20 for an hour a couple of times a week. I would go sit at a cafe and just see random friends that that I haven't seen. I'd work with clients and take them out and about, even if it was just frivolous conversations all day long. This is what it affects. And I just see I look at the next 6 months, and I think, you're going to be a regular guest anyway, but you have them. But I think it's time we make some predictions, So I'm going to give you a topic, right? Okay. And you're going to give me your prediction on this, all right? You ready?
I don't have my tinfoil hat, but
And before you do the
let's
prediction,
go for it.
Okay, before we do the prediction, check out c60purplepower.com. The discount code is YGANT10. At least get on Ken's mailing list and learn about all the benefits of it because you're going to want it. So Ken, NFL season, yes or no?
Yes, with teams playing by themselves in the stadium.
Oh, there it is. So we will have teams by themselves playing in a stadium because the NFL is definitely not a league that will give in to anything. So I like that. Okay. So we got Ken's prediction on the NFL season. All right, Ken, will they come out of this healthier physically and more motivated for the long run, or lazier due to all this downtime and fear porn that they think awaits them when the world opens up?
Well, first, it's already been statistically proven that, people got the C roll now. They've been inside having to cook for themselves, all those comfort foods. So, yeah, you're looking for another 10 or 15 pounds, but that's statistics. That's not a prediction. So I don't know. I think they'll be less healthy when they come out of this, mentally and physically, on average.
Here's one for all the daters, okay? Do you think one-night stands now will be worn with masks to prevent, during the heat of passion, being breathed on? Or do you think people will actually just go back to being the rambunctious, dirty little people that some of them really are?
Oh, yeah, that's probably what they'll do. They'll sneak out someplace where they can go do that, where nobody else can see it. So, yeah, they're probably, unless maybe full body suits with small orifice cut into them, that might be something else too. So, I don't know,
I was thinking
possible.
Ken, I was thinking of selling, maybe we can do this as a business, right? Michael Myers Halloween masks right? So do you feel frisky tonight? Do you want to go to a bar and stand 6 feet away from potential one-night stands? Well, how can a one-night stand recognize that you want to get some action tonight? You put on
You
the
have that.
Michael Myers one-night stand mask,
Yes.
right?
With built-in infrared camera to protect you in case they have a temperature.
Exactly, because you can't go and fondle each other in the bar. You can't make out in the bar. But if you're wearing the Michael Myers one-night stand mask, you'll be able to go and tell everybody in that bar that you are willing to breathe on somebody. Because inside this Michael Myers mask is an N95 mask. So it doesn't matter if you're on top or bottom, you will have the opportunity to not be spit on by somebody else's potential coronavirus. Okay, so that's
right.
There's my take on it.
Well, I know. Yeah, it's like there's places I see some of the things opening up, and they're going to have somebody at the doorway with like a little thermometer to read the customer's temperature before they come in. Like there's restaurants. And then of course they had to set them apart. And yeah, I mean, I've just seen some of the most ridiculous directives created by some insane bureaucrat somewhere. Just, what? It's just, yeah. I mean, but it's a tyranny. You give some people power and then they just go crazy with it, right? They get some power and they get more and more. What? Oregon is going to open up till July 6th. I predict the governor of Oregon is going to lose the next election, and many countries or counties in Oregon are just going to break free of her control.
Oregon's going to open up in July.
Yeah, that's what her order is. But all the eastern countries on the other side of the Cascades, they say no, we're not going to do this. We're just going to. The local sheriff will just declare the county, independent, and he will just refuse to enforce the law because he is in the interim. Actually, the local sheriff, an elected local sheriff, is actually the highest power in the land. It's a crazy thing, but they can just stand up to the governors. They can stand up to the president. Maybe they could send the army in, but yeah, it's people need to know that.
Okay, next prediction. All right. When's the next lockdown coming? Fall or winter?
Oh, they'll do it in the fall, and probably, because that'll be whenever they want to do it, right? What's interesting is the strain in Italy is completely different from the strain in China. And the strain like in Iran, or got released in Iran, and all the Iranian leadership got sick before the people. It's its own little strand. So who's making all these little strains and releasing them? Like most of the stuff on the East Coast came from Italy, right? People like to fly back and forth from Italy, So anyway, and the stuff on the West Coast came from China, but and then there's other stuff. So who's making all these strands? I don't know. Somebody is.
Okay. So next prediction. Which airline is going to go out of business from this?
I don't know. Well, I know isn't Virgin going down already? So, well, anyway, that's not a prediction. Atlantic?
I don't know. It's a hard one. It's fun.
Yeah, there's so many. They might all go down. No, what they'll do is they'll all go down and then they'll all get bailed out, and with your taxpayer money, except for the ones that didn't give enough campaign contributions that year.
Yeah, I mean, there's Spirit and there's JetBlue and there's some of the, smaller ones. There's American, there's Delta, there's United, Carnival Cruise supposedly is going to reopen. They have the initials as Corona Cruise Lines to begin with, so they're okay with CCL. What about, so you think another lockdown comes in the fall, okay, which at that point will wipe out the entire economy. So what is your prediction for the S&P 500, the SPY? What number do you think that's at by election day? Right now, let me see where it's at. Hold on 1 second. Let's get the exact number. Where it's at. Right now, it is at 285 and change. So where do you think that will be come election day? With no economy, no real recovery of the economy, what do you think that inflated number is going to be?
165 maybe.
Wow. So you're going for it. You're going for it to go down.
Well, yeah. I mean, in real terms, yeah. I think how long can this be sustained? How much ridiculousness, you know? Because the companies have to tell you their profit statements by June, right? What is it? The end of this month? Maybe it's May 30th or whatever. But then you're gonna see earnings for the last quarter and their projections for the next quarter and whatever else is, and people can have a rude awakening, especially if they're expecting dividends this year.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. What are the predictions? What else can I come up with? Um, hmm. What about dating? People have, I've got a big dating list. Do you think people will date more, less, or use this as an excuse not to go and be social?
Well, you could always have the new pickup line. I'm positive. Are you? And you bring out your card, and then you say, "Whoa!" Well, then it's all wonderful. Or you can just wear the card right on you, when you're going someplace, so all the people know, that you're approved now.
It's just, it's just, to me, it's just the whole thing is just so crazy in so many different levels. And like I said, I don't like it. So tell people, because I promise to make this one short. We'll have you back on next week, right? Because I've got some stuff I got to unfortunately do this afternoon. Fortunately or unfortunately, I've got my 2 meetings today. It's like, oh boy, 2 meetings. I used to have a busy life. Now I'm just kind of sitting here going, So tell people the importance, the benefits. Why C60, C60purplepower.com. Write that down. C60purplepower.com. The discount code is YGAN10. Tell people why C60 really would help them in so many different levels. And just give a brief overview for listeners that have not had the opportunity to really be around the podcast before. And you've got a lot of great stuff on your website too. So tell people all the bennies.
Well, they discovered this new molecule, C60, and they got a Nobel Prize for it back in 2096. And and what they did is they tested animals, like they just discovered it, and it doubled the lifespan of animals. And it did that by preventing, cancer, cognitive decline, and regular kind of mouse and rat diseases. So, it's a super antioxidant, just lifts the oxidative burden your cells are under so they can operate the way they're supposed to. And once your cells can operate the way they're supposed to, the way they did when you were younger, then you have there's a positive health result there. But in the end, you can heal yourself. And of course, C60, you have to also good nutrition and exercise and sunlight. Those are all really, really important things too.
Well, check out C60. We'll bring Ken back on. We'll figure out where I'm going to live. There's lots of things that, we're going to figure out over the next couple of months. And we'll see how the, economy bounces back. What economy? What ecosystem, what everything else. And this is just going to be an interesting time. So check out C60purplepower.com. YGAN10 is the discount code. And then Ken, hang out and say goodbye to you properly. The rest of you, I'll see you on the podcast sometime this week. Don't know when, because during lockdown, I'm not exactly super creative. What do you want me to do? Talk about, well, today I stretched. Today I went to my friend's gym, and today I hiked the hill. Even me, somebody who's very interesting, doesn't have much going on. All right, Ken, hang out. The rest of you. C60purplepower.com, YGAN10 is the code.